Between 1982 and 1989, 3 black men were attacked by white mobs in New York City neighborhoods where they weren't welcome. These are their stories. Willie Turks, Gravesend, Brooklyn, 1982. On June 22, 1982, 34-year-old Willie Turks was driving through the Gravesend neighborhood of Brooklyn with 2 co-workers after finishing a construction job. When their car stalled on a street in the Gravesend section of Brooklyn, a group of 15 to 20 shouting, taunting, bottle-hurling white youths gathered in the street. Witnesses said racial slurs were shouted as the group surrounded the car. The police said 4 or 5 of the youths pulled Mr. Turks from the car he was riding in and attacked him with baseball bats and a knife. He was beaten and stabbed in the street. 2 of the men managed to escape from the crowd. Turks died from his injuries. Police arrested several of the attackers. 2 teenagers were later convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to prison. The killing shocked New York and exposed growing racial tensions in several neighborhoods. Michael Griffith, Howard Beach, 1986. On December 20th, 1986, Michael Griffith, along with his friends Cedric Sandiford and Timothy Grimes, drove into Howard Beach, Queens. Their car had broken down, and they were searching for help. They stopped at a nearby restaurant, hoping someone could call for assistance. Inside, they were turned away. Nearby, a group of white teenagers had been at a party. When they learned that black men were in the neighborhood, some left the party carrying baseball bats and sticks. The teenagers confronted the 3 friends, shouting racial slurs. Michael ran toward the Belt Parkway, trying to escape the mob. In the darkness, he was struck and killed by a passing car. Authorities later prosecuted several of the attackers. John Lester, one of the teens, was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to prison. Others faced charges for assault and unlawful imprisonment. Yusuf Hawkins, Bensonhurst, 1989. On August 23, 1989, 16-year-old Yusuf Hawkins went to Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, a predominantly Italian-American working-class neighborhood in Brooklyn, to look at a used car. Hawkins and his friends walked onto the ambushers' block, unaware that local residents were waiting to attack any group of black youths they saw. Hawkins, his younger brother, and 2 friends were attacked by a crowd of 10 to 30 white youths, with at least 7 of them wielding baseball bats, 1 armed with a handgun. Yusuf was shot and killed during the assault, while other members of the group were wounded. Several of the attackers were arrested and prosecuted. Joseph Fama, Keith Mondello, and others were convicted of murder and sentenced to prison. The killing sparked citywide protests and shone a national spotlight on the continued racial tensions in New York neighborhoods. 3 neighborhoods, 3 attacks, 3 lives changed forever. But these weren't isolated incidents. Across the country, similar acts of racial violence were happening, often with little attention, and sometimes no justice at all. Next episode, we explore more stories of Black Americans targeted by mobs and how the justice system responded or failed to respond.